Well, in Ohio, one sheriff is taking the immigration issue into his very own hands. Sheriff Richard Jones is billing the federal government for the cost of jailing illegal immigrants. That bill not yet paid. Jones says if the feds can't handle illegal immigration, then it is about time the states took action. Sheriff Richard Jones joins us now live. Sheriff, thanks so much for being with us. So you've about had it with waiting for Washington to solve this problem. You say border enforcement can be left to the feds, but you want the states to take action. Tell us why.
Basically, we've been waiting for a year and a half for the feds to take the ball and run with this. And all they've done, if talk could seal the borders, our borders would be really sealed right now. But all we're getting is talking. So we're having to take matters into our own hands, and we're going to have to secure our own states. And we're asking in Ohio, I myself am asking the state legislators, the Speaker of the House in the state of Ohio and the President of the Senate to introduce legislation immediately to get this problem resolved locally. We can't depend on the feds, the state senators, to get anything done other than talk.
And by taking it into your own hands, you mean, among other things, to create a law that would make it illegal for an illegal immigrant to be, for example, in your state, in the state of Ohio, so that your deputies could go out and arrest these people when you find them here illegally.
Yes. In Ohio, we don't have the authority to enforce federal regulations, federal law. I'm trying, as we speak, to get legislation introduced. I'm having a little difficulty with the Speaker of the House in Ohio and the President of the Senate. They don't seem to have the courage that they need. So that's my job as the sheriff. I'm trying to give them some courage to get this legislation introduced. And I have a state representative by the name of Mr. Combs, Courtney Combs, who has that courage. And I think that we may get something moving maybe as early as in a couple of weeks.
Fascinating. Now, one of the things that you have done that's gotten you a bit of PR that will probably help your effort is you've sent the federal government a bill for $125,000. What was that for, Sheriff?
Basically, it's really more than that. It's up close to $1 million now. I feel they owe me for the prisoners that are in my jail that are here illegally. If they're not going to seal the borders, I feel the government, if they're not going to spend the money on securing the borders, they can just pay for these prisoners that are here in my county illegally, and I want that money. I send them a bill every month. But I also sent a bill. Go ahead.
And I take it they didn't pay up.
No, they didn't pay up. I also sent a bill to the President of Mexico, and I'm charging the President of Mexico for every time that I find marijuana in my community or drugs that come from the country of Mexico. I'm charging them for the housing of prisoners. I'm charging for what it costs me to investigate these crimes, and I'm also charging them per pound, a tariff, if you say, for every pound of drugs that comes into my community. And I haven't got a paycheck from them either. Yeah,
there's a shocker for you. One final question for you. What do you think is going to happen, and what would you like to see happen in Washington in terms of immigration reform?
Well, I'd like to see real reform. I'd like to see the people, the senators, they've went to D.C. and they've drank the Kool-Aid, and they forgot where they come from. And I'll tell you what's going to happen. Senator McCain and Senator Kennedy, this is their bill. McCain's doing real poorly in Ohio. I will do everything I can as a conservative Republican to work against Senator McCain. And we're big supporters of Fred Thompson. He seems to be the real deal.
Got it.
And it's going to work good for us in Ohio.
Straight talk from Sheriff Jones. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Butler County, home of Miami University. Go Red Hawks.